New home builders are in big trouble as new home starts have surged in November. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the single-family starts have surged. They increased 14.8% in November as seasonally adjusted. As these mortgage rates are dropping, builders are getting this mindset of, man, buyer demand is going to increase and skyrocket. More and more builders are jumping back in the market, starting new homes. So they're pulling out new permits even though home sales are down. Comment below some other things that you are seeing in your area where you're watching. In November, the reading of 1.56 million starts in November of home builders. They began and they kept this pace up over and over, and single family starts are up 18% seasonally adjusted. Now, year to date, they're down 7.2%. But what's going on here is builders are saying, oh my gosh, the feds are done cutting rates and now interest rates are dropping. So more buyers are going to jump into the market and we're going to be able to move more inventory. So they're starting more spec homes. If you're in an area like Boise or Austin, where there's a bunch of migration coming, those builders are going to be the ones that could be stuck with a big bill. According to this Redfin article, places like Austin and Boise are on the downward side of migration. And remember, places like Austin and Boise, those are metros that are driven, the home prices were driven by migration. Redfin is saying that their relocation is down the lowest level it's been for 18 months. In order for prices to continue to rise in Boise and Austin, they have to have a continual migration pattern of people moving in and out of. But when we go on further to just look at how they break down of places that homebuyers are moving into, the top 10 metros that people are moving into, Boise doesn't even come on the radar, nor does Austin. Matter of fact, the places that reached the highest is Sacramento, California. In 2022, there were 7,000 people that were looking to move into the Sacramento area, and now there's only 5,100. So there's a decrease. Las Vegas, same thing. They were up 6,400 in 2022, and now in 2023, it's only at 3,800. So we're seeing a huge decrease in people looking to move into these metros. Boise was one of the top 10 cities to move to in the nation. Austin, same thing. They were the top 10 places to move in the nation. We're not seeing that anymore. They're no longer on the charts. And so when these home prices in Boise, for instance, the median sales price is over $500,000, and that's mainly due to migration. The median household income is only around $70,000. They're going to be in trouble. Who's going to really be in trouble is the people who are building. Interest rates have dropped to the lowest level that they've seen in a while. You're seeing anywhere from 6 to 6.5% for a 30-year mortgage, and that is creating this rebound, or what people want to portray as a rebound. According to Mortgage Bankers Association, lending on new construction has been one of the bright spots in an otherwise slow pace for purchase originations. That trend continued in November with applications to purchase a new home were up 22%. Now, why are they up 22%? Well, if you've been following our channel, and if you haven't, you should do it right now. Hit that subscribe button. The reason why is because builders are offering massive incentives. The biggest incentive right now in our area is around $40,000 for a new home purchase. Some builders are saying, hey, we need you to move our inventory, come buy our house, use our lender, and we'll give you a 3-to-1 rate buy down. Places like Hayden Homes, they're offering a $5,000 incentive if you use their lender. So all these lenders have now teamed up with builders to try to get better rates or help incentivize buyers to buy their houses.
Then you are in luck because we are having a limited time offer only on everything.
Wow, this is my lucky day.
How that works is if a builder's offering $10,000, the lender's pitching in some of that money. The lender's pitching in some of that money, eating some of the cost, while the builder pitches in some of the costs. So they're both sharing the load, but that way the lender is getting transactions, and that's why the lender is moving and originating loans. Applications are up 20% a year over year, so it's working. But is it smart? And that's a question that only you can answer, because I think the 3-to-1 rate buy down is a death trap. You let me know your thoughts. The other thing that I found was very interesting when we're talking about the mortgage applications is, according to this article from Mortgage Bankers Association, 62% of the loan applications are conventional loans, while 27% are FHA loans and about 9.3% are VA loans. But the average loan size, this is what's interesting to me, the average loan size for new homes, and they said it only decreased $200, but it decreased from $390,225 in October to $390,049 in November. So the new home purchase applications are sitting right around $390,000. But let's jump back to what I was saying about the areas where there's a huge migration driven, where, like for instance, Boise, where our average new home construction price is sitting right around the $500,000 mark. Our median sales price for new construction is over $100,000 higher than the median loan nationwide. So that is going to be a lot of trouble for a builder here in the area. So let's just look at this for a second. From Land Pro Data, they put together this article talking about new home transfers, building permits, and lots recorded. So a lot recorded is obviously a lot that's been finished, it's been developed, it's been recorded with the county. Building permits are a builder going out, pulling out a permit, and then starting construction on a new house. Now, sometimes builders will pull out a permit, and that permit will just sit without anything moving on it until maybe the builder's sold enough inventory. Sometimes it is a start. But we're going to say these builder permits are starts. And then they also break down new home transfers, which means that the builder has now sold the house and is transferred into the new homeowner. What you can see is in July of 2022, there was 256 home transfers. In July of 2023, there was only 212. So there was a big decrease. Let's look at the building permits, because building permits back in 2022 of July, there was only 262. Now of July of 2023, there was 347 building permits pulled. So there's been a huge increase of builder permits being pulled, but yet the new home transfers are down. The thing about lots recorded, we can't really look at it month over month or year over year, because what you're looking at here is sometimes there's a big subdivision that's being recorded. And when there's a big subdivision that's being recorded, you might get 20, 30, 40, 100 lots recorded at one time. And so it kind of really skews the numbers. But the thing that you want to look at is how many available lots are recorded in the year as a total. Let's jump over to Canyon County. So this is another county in the metro. When we look at Canyon County, what we see is in July of 23, there was 99 or just shy of 100 homes being transferred. 2022, there was 130. So there was a decrease in new home transfers, but then we're going to see the same thing, right? So we're seeing the same thing that National Home Builders Association is saying, is that the builders said, like their mindset is, hey, these lower rates, we're going to start pumping out more and more homes. If the economy shifts and layoffs start happening, or the job market starts decreasing and not being as strong, then we're going to see even more stressed builders as well as stressed sellers. Building permits jumped. So it was at 166 in 22, and now it's at 209. There has been an increase in how builders are feeling that these new interest rates are going to affect the market. They believe that it's going to bring buyers back into the market. One of the reasons also why, for instance, the Mortgage Bankers Association are saying that buyers are coming back into the market is because builders can get you in at a lower rate than a resale. And one thing that they're saying is because the resale market has such low inventory, that it's allowing builders to just persuade buyers to buy their houses instead of going and getting a resale house. And part of the reason too is people who are reselling their houses, sometimes they're staying a little stubborn. No, I'm not going to sell this house. There's been houses in our metro that have been sitting on the market for over a year, and yet the builder or the seller's not even willing to come down $20,000, $30,000, and they think that they're sitting on a gold mine.
This is my home. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard or SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere.
If you are tired of waiting, because there are people that reach out and they say, listen, we're originally going to wait for this market to collapse, but it's been a slow downward grind and it's not dropping fast enough, so they're tired of waiting and they're going to jump the market, is pay attention to that builder. You can go on any website like Zillow.com and you can see how much inventory does this builder have. If they have a lot of to be builts, then that's not inventory that's actually on the market. But if there's a lot of under construction or a new and never occupied, then they have a lot of inventory that they need to move. And they're paying interest on all the inventory that they haven't sold yet. For instance, there's an area here in the Treasure Valley, Summit Ridge in Nampa, where some of these builders have been sitting on inventory for over a year, trying to move that inventory. Now, some builders have been dropping their prices to compete. They've been offering incentives to compete and get their inventory moved. But some of them are saying, no, I'm not going to change my price. And they've been sitting on the market for over a year. Those builders are ones that I would say would be worth it to go in and try to negotiate. So I'm just going to kind of rapid fire so that you can see. This house right here has been on the market for 160 days. So we're talking about over 3 months. It's been sitting there, and we're encroaching 4 months that it's been sitting on the market with no activity. They are offering around $15,000 to use your way. Again, the Mortgage Bankers Association, they're saying lenders are enjoying just teaming up with builders because that's how they're getting their origination. That's how they're writing loans right now, is by teaming up with these builders and giving away some of their commissions. This house right here has been on the market for 110 days. So we're encroaching a 4-month period and these houses are nice houses. They are what we would consider a move-up house in our area, but they're well above the median sales price for new construction. Remember, the median sales price for new construction the median loan amount for new construction throughout the nation is $390,000. We are well above that here. This is another home that's been on the market 103 days. So we're getting ready to come up on 4 months. This one has been sitting on the market for 164 days. So again, we're now, for this one, it's 5.5 months that it's been sitting on the market. This one has been sitting on the market for over a year and it hasn't sold. It was originally listed August 25th of 2022. So we're sitting on the market for over a year trying to get this inventory to move. This house, again, I believe this house has also been on the market for over a year, 2 months or 2.5 months. And if I were to go out there and drive there, I don't have time to leave the studio, go out and drive, but what you would see is there is a lot of houses that are still being built. You have these houses that are already active, sitting on the market. Remember, out of the 10, 8 of these are brand new houses that are already built, and then 2 of them are resales. So if you were to go out there, you would be able to see, and you'd see, wow, there's a lot of new construction going on. There's also vacant lots that haven't started anything. And this is just something that you want to be mindful of, because as builders are feeling more comfortable, they're going to start putting more sticks in the ground, or they're going to start building more houses. And as they feel more comfortable building more houses, that's going to bring more inventory. And if we have a big correction in the job market, because right now, many of you viewers have mentioned and talked to us that you're taking on multiple jobs to make ends meet. And so obviously, if one household is taking on 4 jobs or 3 jobs just to try to make ends meet, then the job market's going to look like it's more resilient. Be mindful and think about if you're going to jump into the housing market, because you could be like one of these resale sellers who have been sitting on the market surrounded by new construction, but they can't sell their house. They've been sitting on the market for almost 4 months and they can't move it because there's too much new construction and they're surrounded by new construction. So be mindful, don't fall for the trap of the 3-2-1 buy downs or the 15,000. If you want to buy a house and you have to buy a house, just be smart. Don't just jump into it blindly because you're tired of paying rent.